Have you ever felt that your career is all over the place? Well, I've been there, done that. Art history, DJing, screenwriting, interior designing, and all of it mixed together. I've known how to transition from careers, and here I'm going to tell you how to do the same seamlessly. It happens so when we are in college, then we go to uni, our interests change, our likes change, our preferences also change. So it's very normal that you find yourself at some kind of a turnaround where you're like, am I really doing something that I really want to do? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? It's absolutely normal to feel those kind of second guesses, to feel those kind of second thoughts that you're having all the time. It's absolutely normal. And it even more is a better thing to have or feel because you are upskilling yourself, you are honing yourself, and you are just constantly upgrading yourself. In a time where we are living right now, where tech is moving so fast, AI is catching up, we constantly need to upgrade ourselves. And while we are upgrading ourselves with the skill needed in our one particular sector, how amazing it is to have skills in more than one sectors. Sometimes we start a career because of the pressure of our parents. Maybe your parents are lawyers or doctors, and they guide you towards becoming lawyers and doctors. So you get into that career thinking that, okay, this is what my parents have done, and this is perhaps it's the right path for me. In many Indian families, it happens that way. I was a little different because my family was just like, do whatever you want. Everyone in my family has always been either in business or in arts. So no one really pushed me towards anything. I was always given that opportunity or that leeway to explore what I want. And when I went and explored myself towards what I want, I did not know what I really wanted. I was confused, or more, I wouldn't use the word confused. I would also recommend you to replace the word confused with curious. It just really changes the narrative so much because it's not that you're confused, you're a curious person. When I studied art history, I began to intern with different art galleries in India, with different art galleries in Dubai, and then later on in Europe. But while I was discovering art history, when I studied art history, then when I was working in an art gallery, I realized I discovered so many new mediums, and from those mediums, I discovered sound art. Through sound art, I started exploring how to compose music, and I thought, how amazing is this? How beautiful it was to be able to discover electronic music at that time. And then I started composing music. With the help of a few friends who were DJs or composers, I got to use some of their gears, I got to use some of their synthesizers, and I got to learn a little more. Started exploring to composition and DJing. I started playing at different at different gigs. That's how I got my first scholarship in sound music and sound and art, like literally. That's when I went to Italy for my first artist residency in the sound and music department. Over there, I got to explore my composition skills by working with real brands, and I got to explore literal brand projects where I was given briefs and I had to create a soundtrack related to that brief. Entered that art residency, I had no idea. I had never composed a track. I was composing my first track when I literally got into the art residency. It was over there that I learned how to compose songs. At the same time, my degree in art history and all the work that I did at galleries did not go a waste because I was assisting in campaigns related to art, because it was a residency where each department was different. One was of video, one was of art, one was of just the editorial department. So I was still able to use my art history skills in curation, in curating the show, in curating a campaign. At the same time, I was learning on how to compose music. So I had one skill that was already of use, that I already had. It was inherent in me. I trained it. And then I was training myself in something completely different. Also, when I was composing songs, and then finally I thought I could call myself a sound composer, after a few tracks were released in my name, I was working with the design team at the residency, and I got very interested in interior design, in product design. And I thought it would be so amazing if I could know how to design a space. You give me an empty space and I turn it around, or you give me this product or this material and I try to create something out of it. It really fascinated me and I became curious about it. From there, I got a partial scholarship and I got to study interior and product design in Rome. When I studied that, later on, after a few years, it helped me in the Canary Islands, where I have a company dedicated to interior design. So how would you think something that had completely nothing to do with. I had never thought that I would be studying interior design. I had never thought that I would move to the Canary Islands where I would actually be working and setting up some business over there of a skill that I had never thought that I would acquire, or an industry that I would want to work in. Writing is something that I have always loved from the beginning. When I was studying in school, when I was studying literature, or in just general, it helped me heal myself through a lot of stages in my life to keep going back to my writing. Also, a period when I was really shy was when growing up, and I've spoken about it as one of those videos. Writing had always been like this balm that helped me through and through at it all. Finally, now at this point, I am writing a screenplay. I have written one screenplay, which we are in talks of, but this current screenplay that I'm writing about, that I've written, and I'm going to try to push it because I really want to explore that as well. At the same time, I'm doing a degree. It's my second or my third degree, in law. Why law, you would ask me? Because that's something that I always wanted to do. Now, from one person who would look at me would be like, oh my God, this girl is crazy. She's so confused. But another person could look at me and look at how I have managed these things. Obviously, it's hard, but maybe they could say like, okay, she's multi-talented, or maybe she has a lot of skills. She has upgraded herself and she's ready for different types of markets. It depends on how you look at it, right? I try to look at things from a more positive perspective, because if I would be thinking about what other people would think about my career or what paths I'm going on, for example, I have an aunt I have many aunts in India. I'm from India, so I have a huge family over there. And this aunt constantly keeps calling my mom every 2 to 3 months, and she asks the same thing. Rimjim, that's my pet name, as everyone in India has a pet name. Is Rimjim still studying? Is her degree not yet over? What is she still doing studying at this age? Well, I'm really young. So, studying is something, who's going to tell her? Studying is something that you're going to do all your life. You're going to be studying all your life, and upgrading your skills is something you should be doing all the time. So I would tell you, don't listen to other people. If you feel that you need to transition to another career because the current one is not serving you, or it is limiting you in some ways, then here are some steps you could do it. Because you are not confused. Remember, you are curious, and it is so healthy to be curious. It is so inspiring to be curious. It is so amazing to do things the different way, because if you were just doing that one career, what everyone was expected out of you, then how would you even stand out? You are multi-skilled, you are multi-talented, and you have a multi-dimensional approach. So embrace it, own it, and go for it. Identify your core values. Start by identifying the values and morals that really stick to you, that are really core to you, that's something that you cannot negotiate with. Start by outlining the values and beliefs that remain central to you regardless of your career. Do you enjoy doing something which is more problem solving? Do you enjoy doing something that's more creative? Do you enjoy doing something that has a more huge social impact? What are your morals and values? What is your value system, right? What is your value system? What is your belief system? What is it that you enjoy the most in regards to your values and beliefs? Knowing these values will ground you during your transitions. Define your long term. How do you imagine yourself? How do you envisage yourself? How do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Imagine yourself in terms of your job title, in terms of the lifestyle that you want, in terms of how many hours of work do you want to put, in terms of how are you feeling when you are going and doing that job. Define it not only from a job's perspective, but also from your lifestyle. Also, what kind of an impact it will have on you and other people around you. Understand your why in each field. Understand the why in your every field in your past careers. For example, maybe you liked something in the past. Why is it that you enjoyed doing that? For example, I used to DJ. I loved DJing was because I loved connecting to the crowd. I loved mixing music. I loved to be able to express myself through a medium which was completely different. So maybe when you are transitioning through careers, identify the why in your past jobs, in your past careers. What is it that you enjoyed the most about that job? So that you retain that experience to carry it forward, and you shed the layers that you don't want to take towards your next job. For example, I loved DJing, but I really going and doing so many different gigs all the time exhausted me. It took the fun out of it. So maybe then what I started to do was like just selective gigs and maybe more towards composing music. Identify and leverage transferable skills. Map out your skills set. Map out your skills inventory. Map out list down all the skills that you have acquired from your different jobs, from your past jobs. For example, I could give you mine. I learned more about critical thinking, or I'm learning more about critical thinking now from the law degree that I'm doing. When I go back into my past, I learned more about creativity from art history. I learned more about blending music and communicating with the crowd or reading the room while I was DJing to know what song is it that the people are enjoying more to, what song is it that people are not really enjoying to. With my design skills right now, and all along I've learned how are you supposed to adapt to different needs and wants of clients. Some people have higher budgets, some people don't have higher budgets, some people want comfort, some people want luxury. So I'm able to read more into how to adapt to different clients at the same time. With screenwriting, I am understanding how am I supposed to understand the complexities of human emotions? So I pay that more attention when I'm meeting a person in my day-to-day life. I try to take more inspiration from people that I meet and the complexities of emotions that I see and feel and experience with people around me. Also, when I was studying interior design in Rome, I was teaching English for like 2 years while I was studying. So from that job, while teaching English in Italy, in Rome, during when I was studying my interior design course, I learned about how to create a syllabus, how to edit, how to structure, how to concise, right? How to be more concise in creating a lesson. And now when I am trying to mix all of those skills together, I have so many of them listed together because those skills have not gone waste. I have them within me. I have experienced them. I've worked around it so I can apply it whenever I need to apply it. Separate them into hard skills, that's your technical knowledge, and soft skills, communication, adaptability, client relation, so many other things. Find overlapping skills that are very much in touch with your core identity. Find overlapping skills across careers. Look at the skills that align with your core identity. What are those skills and how do you look at them through that to here? Example, art history and law both require detailed research, analyzation, and presentation, negotiation and argumentative discussions, right? With reasoning and rationality. So I bring those skill set into the next one that I'm doing. That is into my design skills. That is into my day-to-day business. Highlight cross-industry skills in your resume. Your past experiences, skills in a way that they stand out in your current skill set or they stand out in your current persuasion of your job. Tailoring how you are presenting those skills into your new job shows the employers that how adaptable you are, how strong you are at adaptability. Create a personal brand that ties your identity together. Establish your brand message. What is it that you want to communicate to the people? What is it that you want to be known as and called for? Recognize what is it that you want. Think of a concise way in which you want to communicate, what kind of message you want to deliver so that people know what your core identity is and how you want to be recognized through your varied careers. This could be anything as a storyteller across art, law, and design, or a multifaceted polymath as well, or a creative strategist with a multifaceted background in art, design, and interior, in art, design, and analytical skills. Showcase your brand consistently, whether it be through LinkedIn, through Threads, through Instagram, through YouTube, through Facebook, whatever it is, through Pinterest, right? Showcase your brand progression throughout social media, through the kind of identity that you want to create for it as well. Stay connected to your network. Even though you have moved on to a new job or to a new career, stay very connected with your past colleagues or your workmates to know what's going on in the industry, to know, because many a times new opportunities come along and you discover that through them, or maybe you just realize a new way of looking at something that you've been looking at from a very different method. So it's very important to stay in touch with all your past colleagues, with all your people that you've worked with. Build a signature approach to each new role. Aim to integrate methods and philosophies that you've run from your past roles, from past careers, from different careers into your new jobs and new roles. For example, While I was a DJ, I learned how to read the crowd. I learned how to read a room. I learned what is it that people are liking, what is it that people are not liking, what is the mood and what is not the mood. So then I used that skill set of reading into a room into a client room currently right now, where I run my business, and when I have to meet a client every time to know what is it that they want, what is it that they don't want, how am I supposed to adapt to their moods and to their likes and dislikes while reading a room. The room is the same, just the people have changed. Revisit, reassess, and reinforce your core interests regularly. As you gain new interests, as you learn new skills, constantly keep in check with the fact that is it aligning with your vision? Is it aligning with your goal that you have for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, or just with your goal in life? Is it serving you? Is it not serving you? Revisiting your goals regularly makes you more grounded in knowing whether it's aligning with your vision or it's not aligning with your vision. It just helps you feel more grounded while you're exploring new things. So you are staying on track. Embrace the learning curve while adapting a new mindset. Embrace the learning curve while staying authentic. Acknowledge that every career shift involves a learning curve. Embrace the challenges as opportunities to grow rather than hurdles that define you. Seek mentorship and guidance. Having a mentor is so important. Having someone to guide you is so important. I realized in so many points in my life, in my career, I had no one to guide me. And obviously I had to go and develop and discover things alone, but at some stages where I did have people to guide me, like maybe it was, in my DJing career, I had to learn a lot of things by myself. But then when there were certain, tech gears that I did not understand, I did have a few people who already were DJs to guide me a little bit into understanding how a big club setup works. Or it could be, in some kind of composition that I had to do in Italy that I did not know that software, I would take help from the other person to master the track, whatever it was. Or if currently, at this point, if I have to take help in some kinds of a different material that I don't know that I have to use for a house, I take help from that person who is an expertise in that field or knows much better about that material. So don't be shy to take help. You're not going to get small by asking for help. People are not going to judge you. People are not going to think that, oh my gosh, he doesn't know about this or he doesn't know about this. No. When you ask for help, you are knowing that you are collaborative. You're accepting the fact that, we all are learning. A learning mindset is so important because that is what is going to put you on the top and stick with you throughout. Celebrate your wins, big or small. You only know what path you are on. Only you know the hurdles, the hardships, all the steps that you've had to take to be able to reach there, to be able to reach wherever you are planning to reach. Only you know what you've been going through and your core family. So when you get that win, celebrate it. When you've acquired that skill, celebrate it. Pat yourself, pat your back, celebrate each victory, small, big, or whatsoever. Push yourself, encourage yourself, and always celebrate yourself. What you are doing is not easy. It definitely is not easy. Instead of just sticking to something that would give you complete stability, and maybe it still continues to give you stability because that skill set will always be with you, you are choosing to explore yourself. You're choosing to challenge yourself. You are showing courage to step up your game. You are choosing courage to step up your life's game. So what you're doing is not a lot of people do, or not a lot of people are able to do, or don't have the courage to do. So what you're doing is incredible. It takes a lot of guts to do that. So what you are doing is amazing. It's fantastic, and it's so inspiring. So know each and every step is something that you are taking to move forward in life, to better yourself, to better your life, and to stick true to your curiosity and to be authentic in your core values. By approaching each transition thoughtfully, you can build a rich, multidimensional career without losing the essence of who you are. This method of career reinvention not only allows you to evolve, but also helps you remain fulfilled and connected to what matters most to you. Every detour, every step back is not a misstep. It is a step in your personal evolution. It is a step in building your resilience. It is a step in building your skill set. It is a step in making you more versatile. So anything that doesn't work out, any career step that did not work out, is not a missed step. It is a step in your personal evolution. See every change as an opportunity to grow. Having expertise across multiple fields is such an advantage. It is a plus that you have no idea how it actually leverages. It brings fresh insights, innovative solutions, adaptability, and cross-functional skills. Keep the door open for new opportunities. Changes that sometimes happen lead us to the most beautiful paths that we had never anticipated. Unexpected step in your career has brought you or will bring you to a more fulfilling and rich life. It takes a lot of strength to be able to pursue it. It's a lot of strength to be able to go after it. So embrace your true journey, embrace your unique journey, and know that you are constantly evolving and you are not confused. You are curious and you're charting a more diverse, a more multifaceted, a more colorful path for yourself, which is going to open doors that you had never thought, never anticipated you would open or it would open. You're going to experience something so different, and you're going to experience yourself in so many different ways that you will thank yourself that you took that step, you took that courage, you took that moment of resilience, created that resilience to be able to go after something that you felt right about. Don't listen to anyone else. Just listen to yourself, and you're going to thank yourself later. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please let me know in the comments, and please like, comment, and subscribe.